Today's Mass readings. September 9, 2020. Memorial of St. Peter Claver, Priest. Wednesday of the 23rd week in Ordinary Time. St. Peter Claver was born at Verdú, Catalonia, Spain, in 1580. Of impoverished parents descended from ancient and distinguished families. He studied at the Jesuit College of Barcelona, entered the Jesuit novitiate at Tarragona in 1602, and took his final vows on August 8, 1604. While studying philosophy at Majorca, the young religious was influenced by Saint Alphonsus Rodriguez to go to the Indies and save millions of perishing souls. In 1610, he landed at Cartagena, modern Colombia, the principal slave market of the New World, where 1,000 slaves were landed every month. After his ordination in 1616, he dedicated himself by special vow to the service of the African slaves, a work that was to last for 33 years. He labored unceasingly for the salvation of the African slaves, and the abolition of the African slave trade, and the love he lavished on them was something that transcended the natural order. Boarding the slave ships as they entered the harbor, he would hurry to the revolting inferno of the hold, and offer whatever poor refreshments he could afford. He would care for the sick and dying, and instruct the slaves through African catechists before administering the sacraments. Through his efforts 300,000 souls entered the church. Furthermore, he did not lose sight of his converts when they left the ships, but followed them to the plantations to which they were sent, encouraged them to live as Christians, and prevailed on their masters to treat them humanely. He died in 1654. First reading. A reading from the first letter of Paul to the Corinthians. 1 Corinthians chapter 7 verse 25 to 31. Brothers and sisters, in regard to virgins, I have no commandment from the Lord, but I give my opinion as one who by the Lord's mercy is trustworthy. So this is what I think best because of the present distress, that it is a good thing for a person to remain as he is. Are you bound to a wife? Do not seek a separation. Are you free of a wife? Then do not look for a wife. If you marry, however, you do not sin, nor does an unmarried woman sin if she marries. But such people will experience affliction in their earthly life, and I would like to spare you that. I tell you, brothers, the time is running out. From now on, let those having wives act as not having them, those weeping as not weeping, those rejoicing as not rejoicing, those buying as not owning, those using the world as not choosing it fully. For the world in its present form is passing away. The word of the Lord. Responsorial Psalm. Psalms chapter 45 verse 11 to 12 and 14 to 17. Let our response be, listen to me, daughter. See and bend your ear. Hear, O daughter, and see. Turn your ear. Forget your people and your father's house. So shall the king desire your beauty. For he is your Lord, and you must worship him. Listen to me, daughter. See and bend your ear. All glorious is the king's daughter as she enters. Her raiment is threaded with spun gold. In embroidered apparel she is born into the king. Behind her the virgins of her train are brought to you. Listen to me, daughter. See and bend your ear. They are born in with gladness and joy. They enter the palace of the king. The place of your fathers your sons shall have. You shall make them princes through all the land. Listen to me, daughter. See and bend your ear. Before we proceed with the video, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel. Also, please hit the notification bell, so you won't miss out when we release new videos. Feel free to share your comments, suggestions, and reflections at the comments section down below. Thank you and God bless. Now, let's proceed with the video. Gospel reading. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Luke. Luke chapter 6 verse 20 to 26. Raising his eyes toward his disciples, Jesus said, "Blessed are you who are poor, for the kingdom of God is yours. Blessed are you who are now hungry, for you will be satisfied. Blessed are you who are now weeping, for you will laugh. Blessed are you when people hate you, and when they exclude and insult you, and denounce your name as evil, on account of the Son of Man. Rejoice and leap for joy on that day. Behold, your reward will be great in heaven. For their ancestors treated the prophets in the same way. But woe to you who are rich, for you have received your consolation. But woe to you who are filled now, for you will be hungry. Woe to you who laugh now, for you will grieve and weep. Woe to you when all speak well of you, for their ancestors treated the false prophets in this way." The Gospel of the Lord. The reflection on today's Gospel. The Sermon on the Plain as its corresponding passage, the Sermon on the Mount in Matthew, has been called the Christian Manifesto as it sets out the values and ideals of the Christian life in the kingdom. It is a pledge to be detached from all that is not of God, and that one's life be guided by what is conducive to the service of God, or, to put it another way, by what is conducive to the end for which we were created. They are difficult passages to understand and equally difficult to have as the guiding principles of our lives. The kingdom of God is mysterious, because it is God's project working out silently in human history. But from this text we know some of those who will be in it. The poor and the hungry will be there. So will those who weep, and also the dominated, the persecuted, the outcasts of the earth. What an extraordinary group! Those who are at the bottom of the human pyramid will be rejoicing and leaping for joy at God's goodness to them. When my heart is breaking because of the misery of so many today, I must not think that God has forgotten them. Instead, I thank God that for them the best is yet to come, and I ask to be included among them, at least as someone who cares about them. As an exercise today, I suggest that you spend 15 minutes clarifying for yourself how you understand the Sermon on the Plain.